This improv story is Overslept for first day of new job, let the story commence. Craig, he'd been out of work for about 3 months for that fucking coronavirus. He didn't have it, but it's all that coronavirus carry on, and he'd been laid off, applying for jobs, but every cunt's fucking laid off and every cunt's applying for jobs. But he finally got one. He was going to be working in a bank. And it was his first day. And they said to him, what experience have you got working in a bank? And he said, in his CV, lots and lots. It says in your CV there that you worked in a printers. And then you worked making selling t-shirts, and then you went back to printing, and then there's not been anything for a while. Well, during that time, I was working in a bank. After that, I've just not updated my CV. Right. Okay. All right then. That's it. They let him in. So it was his first day at the new job, and he overslept for it. And he walked right in there. Instead of being there at 9, he walked in at fucking 12 minutes past 9 because he'd overslept. So he came in rushing with his face all red. And the boss went like that. Ah, Craig, a wee bit late. And Craig fucking stabbed him right in the neck. Stabbed him right in the neck there, right? And pulled his throat out like that. Pulled right out like that, right? And all these people running like fuck started swinging a knife a bit, and he'd spent the reason why he overslept was he was up all night sharpening this fucking knife that he got. Sharpening it like fuck. Just like that. Oh, fucking night. Like he had a whetstone, kind of stone like that. Feather. Dropped a feather. The feather cutting off. You see, what's so amazing about that is that the lack of pressure from the feather down the way to force it into the blade, which would help cut it, wasn't actually required because the knife is so fucking sharp. And he went in there with that knife, and pretty bad. A lot of families in there, a lot of parents there. A lot of Wayne's got a phone call that day. Where was the security? No security in this place. They had security at the other places where the money was. This was like the offices and that. A lot of phone calls are made. You know, your dad, your mum, or whatever, they were a very bad man. Did something at work, and they won't be coming back. Horrible stuff. And there was a funeral for all these families, and the thing is, he wasn't caught. And Craig, horrible what he done. He went to each of these funerals, and he went through all them with a knife. He left the Waynes though. He left in, which is shite, because they're left behind. They're left behind. But you can't win. So you can't win. What are you meant to do? Put yourself in his shoes. What would you do? He made the mistake of killing. Right, he went a bit daft when he killed everybody in his office for no reason. Right, that was bad. He admits to that. But anyway, he's not been caught. He's not been caught. But he admits to that. Right, he's went to some pubs and he's confessed to some people. You know, like Alkies not went like that. I'll admit I done the wrong thing. I'll admit it. I'll be here. Yeah. I'll be the first to admit it. Yeah. I'll be the first to admit it. What I did was right. I'll be the first to admit it. Yeah. Yeah. What I did was right. Be the first to admit it. But what he was trying to do by going to the funerals and killing everybody there, except the weddings, was relieve them of grief. So that's a good thing. But he didn't want to do it into the weddings, and then he's fucking made the grief even bigger with the weddings. But what can you do? You can't win. So Craig had a sense of people judging him when they weren't in his shoes. Yes, what he did to begin with was wrong, but to try and make things better, you can't win. And so he just sort of got bitter. He just thought, people fucking judging me. You've not walked in my fucking shoes. And that got him angry. So he started setting about people again. Which is kind of what started it. See, in a prequel, if I can go to a prequel here, the reason why he did go into that workplace and seemingly just attacked him off for nothing, he was angry. Because, see everything that happened after? That actually happened before. Killing everybody at the funerals and all that, and then people judging him and going like, that's terrible. He'd been doing that for, coming up for 20 years now. He's been doing that. The cycle, it's a new cycle about every 3 months. He lays low, kind of out of work for a bit, lays low, thinks about all the bastards from before, gets a job, sets about them, attacks everybody at the funerals, gets judged, lays low, builds up a bitterness. He's Lunar. No. So it's about every 3 months, and here's how I like to end the story. The news cycle is coming up, and do you know where he's going to be working? With you. The end. Work from home, yep. How do I know? I was one of the alkies in a pub. I mean, I'm 17 year dry now. I had a wee bit of relapse. In fact, it was 17 years ago. It was just before I stopped drinking. Because he's been doing it for about almost 20 years now, remember? And he told me he'd been doing it for 3 years. At that point, he said, I'm going to keep doing it. And every now and again, I see it in the news, and I'm like, that. They're looking for who it is, and I'm like, that. That'll be my Craig. The end. By the way, don't bother phoning the police. I have contacted them, and I've said, please hand yourself in. You'll get a PS5 the lot. He says, I've already got one.